Welcome back to another episode of Joy 20 presents the Twilight Brigade. Alright, the Twilight Brigade are an adventuring party consisting of Ser Ridire, voiced by ZerohGee, Oliver, voiced by CashPanda, and Tal'Dama, voiced by Curiosity.
I'm going to break the trend and the silence and say hello. I'm Curiosity.
Ridire, Oliver, and Tal'Dama have been tasked with saving the land of Fadir from the goddess Shar and her werewolf-led army of the night. The party checked into their new home, the Twilight Bastion, a keep they cleansed from an undead curse. As they set up home, they fast-traveled throughout the land, collecting friends they had met along their journeys, and brought them safely under one roof. And now, the few days to let the army kind of do their final preparations and get everything set up are done. And so they are going to be heading to Byfeld soon, the capital city, to begin the attack against the Sanguine Saints. And that is where we left off.
Yay! Very good, Chuck.
So we're going through with the Wolfbane airstrike. Yeah?
Right. Did we figure out how to turn that into pollen and sprinkle it all over Haddonfield?
Roll me a nature check. There.
If we dropped a little bit of Wolfsbane on the ground and then you cast plant growth.
Oh my gosh.
You don't have enough to mess with it yet. You didn't have a lot to begin with, so yeah.
Well, I know where we could get more.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the world's yours. You guys get to do what you
want. We know it's in the Feywild, and we know we can spend a whole bunch of time in the Feywild collecting it.
We could
Spending
get
time in the real world.
We could do that. I mean, it is a bit of a risk talking to the River King from what I've heard about him. He's a bit of a fickle lad, if you will. He'll be happy to help one day, and then he'll be not exactly screaming your praises the next. Might even be out for your head.
Do we want to do that?
They've had a little bit to prepare in the capital, right? And they were talking about gathering Wolfsbane, so I don't know what they have.
But we could sprinkle out some seeds, and maybe I could do some plant growth.
That could work. At least give us some sort of advantage
and then
if we need it.
We'd have all the Wolfsbane we needed. And we could do it in the Feywild, so we have lots of time to collect lots of Wolfsbane.
Yeah, what's a couple of weeks in the Feywild, to...
A couple of minutes.
The thing is, we could do this, but should we go to the Feywild and grow a year's worth of Wolfsbane?
No.
Maybe not a year's.
I think we go forward with what we've got.
Okay.
I feel like there's some greater deity up there that would be very annoyed if we wasted more time with the shenanigans.
But we'd only be wasting...
It is your world, and you get to play it however you want. I will not be annoyed.
We would only really be wasting... What?
That's how you play D&D.
Not very long in the real
Thank you,
world.
B. Thank you. So yeah, however you want to play this, I will adapt.
Listen, I am all for going to the Feywild. Seeing as I'm from the Feywild. I would be all for going to the Feywild, personally. I don't really need an excuse to be going there.
I'm willing to follow along.
Or at least,
what you want to do.
It wouldn't hurt to try.
Alright, I will have all three of you roll a medicine or nature check. Your choice.
Oh, I'm so much better at medicine than nature.
Me too. 13 for me.
25.
Nat 20.
6.
So yeah, what'll a 25 get me, Chuck?
Okay, a 25 is going to get you that, Wolfsbane, when you were informed about it, was ingested as a means to cause damage. It might have some minor effects in impalement or bludgeoning, but to get the real effect, it has to be consumed by a werewolf to actually work.
So
All right. So we're going to make spring rolls out of the Wolfsbane, and we're going to show up. I'm going to say, food delivery for the Cardinal Dawn.
we could cook for the boss again.
It worked
once.
I can turn invisible, so I could just invisible as long as I don't have true sight in, and just throw it in the food pot.
Here's a question that I need to know from the last time we were in Haddonfield.
Mm-hmm.
Was there some sort of water source that was near the castle?
Not that you saw.
Okay. I was gonna ask about poison in the water source. Somebody's poisoned the water hole. But, alright, well, haven't that much.
Does wolfsbane harm anyone else? Did we know if it was harmful to, like, normal humans?
No, because the,
We had it, and it was fine.
Yeah, you ingested it. The only one who was affected was, Oliver.
So we tell the king and queen to try and get as many of their troops as possible just chewing on it, so if they get bitten by a werewolf, it'll affect them.
You told them about it, and they've gotten, they sent provisions down to, this town to basically start harvesting more and putting it in all of the food.
Just another thing of note here from the book that I have about this. Juniper berries are deadly to werefoxes, so...
Are they? Let us find ourselves some juniper berries. I'm glad you relayed this.
I'm assuming also when ingested.
Of course. But
well,
I figured Tal'Dama might want to know in case certain werefox were restrained and...
if a certain werefox is restrained, I mean, there are more efficient ways of dealing with her than making her eat
That's true, but
juniper
I
berries.
don't know. Is it as painful?
At this point, I just want her gone off the face of this planet.
Fair enough.
Or perhaps buried very deep under it.
Alright. What's your plan, y'all?
Let's go. Let's get ourselves back to Bayfeld and tell them we're ready to move on to the werewolf stronghold.
Any last-minute conversations with the people at the keep? Anything that you're gonna add?
Is my horse armor done?
After 3 days, yes.
Alright, we will get Barnabas armored up.
Okay.
What does it provide bonus-wise to his AC? I know it's not gonna be much.
I'll say it's a +2 to his AC, and
Sweet.
I'll give you advantage against dex saving throws while riding him.
Oh, cool.
Wow, that's nice.
Because it's now built to better fit you, and so it curves around your armor in a way that his natural horse shape had not.
Cool.
Very nice. So are we teleporting to the capital then? With the teleportation circle?
Yes, let's say our goodbyes and let's do it.
Just for funsies, I'm going to do something.
That always makes me scared.
Yes! Oh, yes! I have an owlbear right now.
The great bag of tricks, huh?
Hi.
Oh, okay.
I pull out, I reach into the bag of tricks and I pull out a little fuzzy ball and I throw it to the ground and that wee little tribble balloons up into a great big owlbear. And I say, Darius, it's nice to meet you.
Somewhere in the other world.
I feel like there's going to be some people on some sort of worldwide communication device that are going to be very angry about an owlbear appearing so easily. Someone's going to be like, that's not how that works.
Ding.
Somewhere at the foot of a mountain.
Oh my god, Chuck. It wasn't that funny.
They really got him.
Wow. Are you gonna be okay there? So, context being, we had previously met an owlbear named Hootie. And Chuck was basically laying out so many opportunities for us to make a Hootie and the Blowfish joke. And it finally landed.
I was holding back for like most of the conversation from not making it during that segment.
Wow, Chuck.
I can't
It's my best friend, guys.
Oh my god. I keep picturing an owlbear singing Hold My Hand, and it's the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my... Like the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. Oh god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, okay. Okay.
You alright there?
I think I can manage. Oh my
Okay.
god. Oh, I needed that so bad after the last few weeks. Oh my god. Oh. Wow.
You good now?
Do you need a cigarette?
Oh man, I need...
That was good for me. Was it good for you?
Oh, my freaking jaw hurt from laughing. Oh.
Wow.
Okay. Oh my god.
How big is Artie? So big!
Aw.
Aw.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. All right, so where are we? What's going on?
So I just produced an owlbear from the Great Bag of Tricks. I can no longer pull giant elk.
And we're gonna
We're gonna teleport to the
teleportation
capital.
circle to the capital with an
With an
owlbear.
owlbear.
All right.
And a Pegasus. In armor.
So you step into the glowing circle of the... So Tal'Dama aside, everybody else, the flash of bright light happens, you all go blind. Tal'Dama, you just stop feeling the earth for that momentary second of, having all of your essence being whisked away to another part of the world. And in a flash, you are all back in the capital city teleportation room. There's one of the guards at the station who immediately puts his hand on his halberd before recognizing all of you and stands at attention and just says, do we need to worry about the owl bear, or do you have that under control?
Yeah, it's fine. He's cool.
It's fine. He's with me.
Very good. Keep an eye on it, please.
I will get right on that.
2 eyes, as often as I can spare them.
You make your way to the castle, drawing a ton of attention at this point, both from being, the Twilight Brigade, and word kind of starting to spread now of who you are and what you've done. There's definitely a heavier military presence in the town. There's soldiers who are gearing up. As they pass you, they stop and salute, definitely standing at attention as you walk by. You make your way to the castle. Couple of kids very excited to see an owlbear in the city. They go running off. You enter the castle and are brought into the throne room of the palace. At this point, very familiar sight. The marble pillars and marble floor contrasted with the 2 gold inlaid thrones at the end of the room, up on a platform at the top of a couple steps. You know at this point that if the throne is empty, you're probably ending up in the tower in the war room. You ascend the spiral staircase leading up to the top of the tower, and entering it, you see the familiar sight of a fairly large stone room with the tapestries on the side of different showcasing different battles. In the center of the room is the giant table with all of the maps laid out. You see King Arenel and Queen Turna. Surrounding them in these kind of large wooden chairs are Lionel, the Dragonborn advisor, Lady Alluro, the female gnome, and Eliel Merather, the elf. Also, standing in the room, not in a chair, but standing and gesturing wildly, is everybody's favorite, Con O'Dwyer. And next to him is Shari Hardhelm, who is taking notes, and, O'Dwyer will point to something and then move on, and she'll just kind of, quietly point to where he's actually supposed to be talking. And you enter, and as you do, the conversation stops, and all eyes turn to the three of you. Your owlbear and Pegasus will have to wait down, right outside the castle.
Yep.
No, Darius, be nice. Don't eat anybody.
Boy.
And if anyone wants to pet you, you just let him. And we Aragorn our way into the room.
Okay. Ser Ridire's
Wild try.
Yeah, Tal'Dama Aragorn opens the doors, and then Ser Ridire is just standing behind in a JoJo pose with his cape billowing.
And Conan Dwyer's like, damn it, that guy's so cool.
I'm not even gonna make you roll an insight. What's your passive insight? 18? 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, jealousy ripples through O'Dwyer, and relief comes from Shari Hardhelm. The average intelligence of the room just went up by a very large IQ.
I don't think any of us was actually that smart.
Yeah, but compared to Con O'Dwyer.
Hey, I have an intelligence of 11, thank you very much.
Minus 10.
Mine's 12.
That's a whole +1 point between all three of us.
Oh, I guess it would be. That's why Oliver's so good at investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello, Mr. O'Dwyer. How have you been? Stealing all the credit, I've heard, from the siege of Belthy.
I mean, we played our part. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But don't worry. After we're done with the werewolves, I don't care if you tell everyone you're the one who saved the world.
Well, I will have played my part in it, of course, and I will say as much.
Yes, of course. I mean, everyone has their small part to play.
Yes, some more so than others.
Are you here to gloat, or do you have business?
Oh, yep. So if you guys are ready to begin the assault, we're ready on our end.
We really don't have to gloat. We'll leave that to you. It's all right. So you seem to have it covered.
Well, yes, of course I have it covered.
I know you do.
You're so good at that.
Great at gloating. We're ready, though, by the way. Yes, we are ready, as Ridire said.
At which point the king chimes in and is side-eyeing his general that is supposed to be in control, rethinking a lot of stories that he's heard over the years, and just says, the army is ready to march whenever you give the word. Have you decided on the Feywild and your transportation through there? Are you taking troops or leaving that to just march across the land?
I'm sure that you've addressed your troops with the Lady of the Feywild's conditions, correct?
Yes, of course. They will do what they need to support the crown and support the realm. So you will have as many as you want. I believe we had talked about 50 troops.
Well, I was hoping we would be looking for volunteers. So I don't want anyone to be assigned to it. Even if they're willing, I want this to be people that stand up and say, I will take that risk, not like just overbearing. I'm willing to take the risk if I'm told to. You know what I mean? Because it is a very large risk.
We don't know what kind of memories they'll be losing.
At this, Shari actually speaks up and says, all of the troops are hardened soldiers. They are not volunteers. They're not farmers who are being forced into this, and they know what they signed up for. These things are part of the job. You will have as many volunteers as you need.
Still doesn't sound quite like what I'm asking, so...
These guys know what they're getting into.
They have been told of the risks. They have been told of what might happen, and if anybody objected, there would be no punishment. There would be no penalty for them, and we have had many say that they are good with it. I don't know of anybody who has not. There's one who wishes to lead the troops through the land, and she looks at O'Dwyer.
Here's the thing, though, and I might not be the greatest strategist in the world, but we did surprise them through that Fey tree the last time. They would probably expect an attack coming from there.
You're not wrong. So, it might be better not to, but it was just a possible way to get some troops and us in the city, not just on the outskirts of it, but if they have it heavily fortified or destroyed the tree, perhaps it would be a waste of time.
How many people can we How many people could we reasonably get through if I were to take them through the tree itself without bothering to go through the Feywild?
Transport via plants.
Aye.
Rules as written is like an infinite number. In reality, I'd say probably 10 to 15.
Well, it's technically not an infinite number because it stays open for 1 round, right?
So 6 seconds.
So it would be the amount of people that have enough movement speed to make it through in 1 round of combat. So you'd probably you might be able to rig it up like by really packing people together and tightly around the portal to maybe max out at like 30 that could like dash in kind of thing. So yeah, 15 is probably a pretty good number to do it easily.
And how many people can fit in a portable hole?
Oh,
It's a
boy.
10-foot cube.
You know, it's probably just best if I don't use that powerful of a spell because we may need it while we're assaulting the.
It's a 10-foot cube. If you're trying to give everyone the 5 feet of space, you can get 4 in there completely comfortably.
Oh, we can pack them
And
in
if you're
like
going to pack
sardines.
people in like sardines, you can probably get 10 to 12 without so seriously inconveniencing
So
anyone.
it hardly seems worth it for me to use that powerful of a spell just to circumvent Nick Naveen.
Also, roll me a Arcana check with advantage, Tal'Dama.
How about a 17?
Something tells you kind of in the back of your mind that transport via plants with a Fey tree might have some different effects.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, second thought, let's take that off the table.
Just saying, a tree that is unnatural and rooted in deep fairy magic that already goes to a different plane of existence, opening up a portal inside of it.
Might make an earth-shattering boom.
Just don't know if the whole, opening up in another specified place might be as accurate.
I see what you mean.
It would kaboom.
Okay.
We could detonate it like a bomb in the middle of Haddonfield.
Hold on. We do have a portable hole, right?
Yeah, it's filled with 6 chairs and a statue, I think.
So there's room for the guys to sit down while they're inside the
Okay.
portal.
So, actually, no, I can't do this because Tal'Dama wouldn't know this. I was gonna be like, oh, does anybody have a bag of holding? But I can't do that because I know that, but Tal'Dama doesn't know that it makes a boom.
Well, it creates a portal.
Oh,
Sucks
yeah.
everything into the astral plane.
Yeah.
I've identified the hole though, and I think the hole does something similar, right?
It's if you put any extra dimensional space inside of another extra dimensional space.
So I've identified the hole before,
Yes.
and so I would know that it would happen for the hole.
And your +1 intelligence modifier, you
Oh,
might
boy.
be able to put together. You might extrapolate that.
Roll me an Arcana check with advantage.
22.
Yeah, you would absolutely know what would happen if you put a portable hole in a bag of holding or vice versa.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
But we don't. Would you? Okay, so we're gonna have to find a portable hole.
So I'm gonna go a little bit right here. A long time ago, I did ask Chuck if forcing the portable hole inside of our coin purses of holding would do it, and he said because they're a smaller thing, they're designed to be able to go into extra-dimensional spaces and through portals without causing a problem. But if you put the larger one into it, there is a small chance that maybe it would trigger it. Do we want to go through the Fey tree and take 6 Spec Ops troops in with the portable hole?
I think they're going to be expecting people. They're probably going to be expecting people to come out of the tree because we came out of the tree last time, and I'm pretty sure it's more well fortified there.
Roll me a history check and an insight check, all 3 of you. So this was to remember back 2 years ago, just to help you all out. I'm gonna give it to you because of Panda rolling a 13 and a 17. By talking this out amongst the group and being that in reality this is only 2 or 3 months have passed from the events, not 2 years, you were never seen exiting the tree.
Oh.
Because it was in a backyard.
It was
and we
walled
didn't leave
off,
that way.
That's true, because the one guy was sleeping.
and you
Oh.
successfully snuck past the dog, and then were caught in the middle of the camp.
Oh, that's true.
So they might have made an assumption on the tree and up to the guard, but they don't 100% know that's how it happened.
Also, in all of your dealings, this is where your insight is going to come in. In all of your dealings, you have yet to meet a single person of this whole army of the night that has been anywhere decent at strategy other than the Saints themselves. And even then, Heldon let you into his castle and you killed him via soup.
And even then, we defeated an army with inferior numbers.
Yeah, I'm just going to point that out, that, you have not been dealing with very, very bright people.
All right.
Because darkness, because sharp.
Because they're the army of the night.
Just a low intelligence game all around, I think
All right.
is what this is.
So if anyone is willing to step up and volunteer to help let us save the day from the army of the night, they should come forward, and we can go through the tree. They'll lose a memory, just one though. But I do need to hear whoever wants to go say, "I do want to go."
You are brought out into the balcony overlooking a courtyard where there are troops training and gathering supplies, and the general chaos of large-scale military operation gearing up. And as the king and queen and O'Dwyer and Hardhelm step out with the three of you right behind them, there's a call out and all the troops stand at attention. And this is an impressive sight. There's well over 1,000 individuals in this courtyard. They are, you're seeing men, women, others. You're seeing elves, dwarves, halflings, humans, of course, half-elves, orcs, half-orcs, scattered in there's some dragonborn and some of the more, the lesser common races on this continent. It is a mix of the people, and as they grow silent as they watch you, Shari steps forward and says, "Those of you that want a chance to surprise the enemy and take the fight to their home, knowing the risk that is involved, knowing that a memory of yours may be taken, and we are uncertain of what memory that might be, but those of you that are willing to step forward and take that risk and take that opportunity to attack the enemy where they rest, raise your spear and step forward." And you watch as this entire army raises a spear and takes a step forward.
I nudge Shari. "You said may. It's a guarantee it'll be taken."
Yeah, but, it's only one. They know.
Alright, well. Ser Ridire, how many do we need?
The logistics of trying to march an entire army through is going to be very difficult. That's why we want a small group.
The conversation in the past was roughly 50. 50 or less.
Give me 50 of your most eager. And we've got ourselves a vanguard at the tip of the spear.
Very good. I will pick out 50 and you will meet up with them. And if you feel like they don't know the risks, you can always send them back and we'll pick somebody else.
Alright, before we step through, what we need to have happen is we are going to need a two-pronged attack. So as soon as is there a way for us to communicate that you are beginning your attack while we're near a Fey portal? Oh, hang on. Also, as far as time goes in the Feywild, Chuck, what do we for the rings?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can control it for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But how about all the people who are going through? Would it just be 1-to-1, or is it all random for them?
You don't know. All right, as a half Chwinga with all the memories of a Chwinga, roll me a history check with advantage.
History with advantage, come on. 11.
You know it would not be 1-to-1 based off your rings.
Right, okay.
You're not sure what it would all entail, but it would not be a 1-to-1.
Oh, well, that might throw it. Boys, there might be a damper that's thrown in this plan of ours.
What's that?
So, you know how we can control the rings that affect the flow of time in the Feywild?
Yep.
What are we going to do for the 50 individuals coming with us?
Well, that's easy. Oh. Well, what?
Aye.
That's not even that. So, new plan. We're gonna march with the army. Maybe just we go through the Fey tree.
And we stir up some trouble.
We stir up some
Okay.
trouble.
So what we're gonna do, so basically what we could do is, as soon as the army has made a pretty big dent in their territory, we get in while their forces have been pulled away to deal with the brunt of that, and we make us. Oh, I'm forgetting the word. What is it when it's like broken a bone and you need to be very precise about how to set it back? What's that called? It's begins with an S.
A splint?
Well, like they cut you up, and I remember it now.
I'm not very familiar with them.
Medical terminology on that kind of like.
Well, let's say precision. We have to make a precision strike. I know the word is surgical, but Tal'Dama
Our
doesn't know the word
temporal,
surgical.
our temporal tempering. Could we not also potentially just make little pokes and go back and forth, and little poke in and then leave, and then little poke in, leave?
Oh, as the army's advancing.
It's possible. My other thought was, so there's this city in the middle. What was it called again? Is that
Occam?
Occam? Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a teleportation circle and a Fey tree there.
Right.
So we could march with the army,
Mm-hmm.
see the assault has started, teleportation circle to Occam, run into the Fey tree, slow down time, and then be coming out of it there only a couple of minutes later into the battle.
We could do that. I think we should do that.
And that also lets us determine if we want to go through the Fey portal or if we
Right.
just want to keep assaulting with the army.
I don't care what they say, Ser Ridire. That is a very smart plan, and you're a very smart fella.
Better that than the alternative, being a fart smeller, of course.
Oh,
I get it.
could you imagine if we would have tried to cram all the soldiers into the portable hole? They'd be smelling like farts for days.
It would probably be pretty rank.
All right, so we'll talk to Jari and we'll just explain that we've realized there's some more complications, so I think it's going to be safer to just march with the army.
Okay, so conversation is had, and it's agreed that that's the best. I mean, if that's what the Twilight Brigade feels is the best course of action.
If things
they're-
end up going poorly and we need to take troops through, we have ways to make that happen, but we'll do it after the fact.
Very good.
Note, collect any Feywild rings off of people during the battle.
Right.
if they survive going boom. Will our rings explode if we die? I guess we'll find out maybe.
Probably. The body might not be in one piece, you know?
What's the difficulty for severing hands or fingers off of the corpses off the cultists before they die?
I mean, not the hardest, depending on the type of combat that you're doing.
All right.
You restrain them with your abilities, and we just go over and pull the rings off.
Oh,
Because
we
then
do
it's
that.
not someone dying, so it shouldn't activate.
No, guys, what we need to do, right, is we're gonna have to capture the cultists, tie them up, and we're gonna need catapults. And we launch the cultists at the ranks of cultists with the catapults. And when they die on impact, it's a chain reaction. And just
Like,
So I ride in with Barnabas, and I grab a cultist around the neck and fly up into the air, and then just let him go.
or I could turn into a raven, and I could just snatch a cultist and just fly him really high and drop him down into the army of cultists.
it's not a
Carpet
bad
bombing
plan.
them with their own forces.
Aye.
A pretty decent
I like
idea,
this
think.
idea.
I think we should keep that in mind. That could be part of our little poke in, poke out type thing. Do that. Rest for a couple hours, and then hop back in and do it again.
Uh-huh.
Only.
All right, so let's march in with the army, and we'll discuss all these strategies as we march in.
In the meantime, we're going to leave you with this little cliffhanger. So, thanks, and as always, may you roll those nat 20s and avoid those critical fails. And have a good night.
Bye!
Bye.